Hey there, this is Amelia here. Welcome to Amelia's crossdressing story. Today we are going to share a story called A Suitable Case for Treatment Part 6 by Crow. For more interesting and exclusive stories, please subscribe to my channel and support me at Patreon. Then it clicked. Of course. Melanie Willis. 80s supermodel, probably the first to start off that name. I remembered, her face had been everywhere at the time, promoting perfumes, clothes, all sorts of stuff. And I remembered an article in the local press a few years ago, how she had retired at the top of her profession, married an entrepreneur from the Midlands and settled into family life. 3 children if I recalled it right. She lives up past the park, in one of those enormous houses. Does good work and so on around the area. And more to the point, changes her wardrobe almost completely every 6 months and gives all the old stuff to us. As Melanie and Mary said their goodbyes at the door, Jackie dashed over towards the bags and grabbed them, pushing one in my direction. Quick, before any customers come in. We deserve first pick. All 3 of us hustled through into the back room excitedly. Mary started pulling clothes out of the bags and hanging them on the incoming rail in there. Then we stood back to look. The whole collection was amazing: dresses, skirts, sweaters, a pashmina, tops, shoes, absolutely hordes of stuff. Jackie went straight at the shoes. I know she has the same size as me, I want them all. You'll have to wait, butted in Mary. Tanya has the same size too, you'll have to fight it out. Remember, I have to price these yet. I don't care, okay, I'll share with Tanya. But I want these blue ones, that's my first choice. Definitely. I waited for a while as they discussed the clothes, then I saw a dress. A gorgeous dress. Deep blue, with tiny gold threads all through it. I dared to look at the label. Yes! My size. I grabbed it. Oh yes, Christine, you can wear that. You've got the figure, definitely. And how about this skirt and that one? Too small for me, said Mary, holding out yet more clothes. We were interrupted by Tanya, back from the back, who whooped with delight when she realized what was going on. She joined in the general free-for-all. Eventually I ended up with 2 blouses, and a shawl and that dress. I was delighted. Mary had worked out what we should be paying. We all agreed to settle up the next day. I was quite laden as I walked home that day, delighted to have coped better. I called in at the corner shop for a few groceries and to replace a few beers and the gin bottle I had finished. It was a lovely day, in every sense. I smiled at the shopkeeper, and again internally when I realized he was checking my legs. Back home I had a beer in a ladylike glass, of course, and decided I just had to try on the dress. Not that I would ever have a chance to wear it. The doorbell rang. It was Jason. Christine, how was your day? Better that yesterday, I hope. You said this morning you weren't entirely on top of the world. Oh yes, Jason, much better. Then I just wondered, how about, would you like to go out for dinner later? Maybe into town? I've discovered the Green Man there lately, a great pub, or the Admiralty Hotel. The Admiralty. Now that brought back memories. I must have stopped and stared for a moment. Jason interrupted me. The Admiralty? Yes. How about I pick you up at about 8? I heard myself say yes, thanks. I closed the door. In a daze I wandered upstairs and into my bedroom. I took off my top and skirt. Standing there in bra and panties, I realized I had a date. I hadn't intended opening the gin, but I needed it. I went down to the kitchen, still half-dressed, opened the bottle and poured myself a stiff one. Just the one, I thought. I've drunk too much the past few days. Now what? What was I to do? Get ready, certainly, but in what? And how? For a first proper date, not like the invite from Tanya. This was Jason. A ear neighbor. And a nice man. I just had to do him proud. The Admiralty Hotel, well, there were memories. I glimpsed the calendar, then realized it was the 19th. Exactly a month since our anniversary, Pauline's and mine. Or rather, our non-anniversary. Every 5 years, on the anniversary of our meeting, not our wedding, that first meeting in the hotel lobby there we had gone back to the same hotel for a special dinner. And this year, exactly 1 month earlier, had been another 5-year date. But this time, for the first time, after falling out badly the night before we had missed our special date. I guess that was one of the things made us realize things had got so bad, missing that special dinner. For the first time. Going to the same hotel, 1 month late, with a man, how would I cope? Only one way to find out. I breathed in, went back up the stairs and stripped naked. I stood there for a moment, then realized. I couldn't go through with this. I wasn't ready for it. At least not alone, I needed some help, some female help. For a moment I thought about ringing Pauline. Daft idea. Totally. What would she think if she saw me like that? I hated to think. Anyway, it was against the rules, Dr. Morgan's rules. Then it came to me. Karen. I found her number and rang. Hello Karen, hello there, it's Christine here, Christine King, yes thanks, okay really. Well, some ups and some downs, you know, yes, well I do have one problem, well, I've got a date tonight and I'm having some problems with the clothes and the makeup, you can imagine, I'm not used to this. Yes, the guy from up the road. He just asked me, this evening, to a hotel in town, yes. Yes, I'll be here. Great, thanks so much. Bye. Half an hour, she could be there in half an hour. Time to get some things sorted at least. I had a quick shower and patted myself dry. I thought I knew the sort of undies which would be suitable. There was a lovely deep blue bra and panties set in my undies drawer, very silky and obviously rather new. I pulled on the panties, they were a thing style, rather brief but seemed okay to me. And the bra, I got that on. It was a balcony bra, wired under my bust, pushing the breasts up and together to give a very exciting cleavage, at least it excited me to see it. And to imagine it being seen too. Then I found the set had a matching suspender belt. I had imagined myself wearing tights but the thought of stockings again appealed to me. I tied it on and then slid a pair of very sheer black stockings up my legs, luxuriating in the sensation of thin nylon against my legs. I clipped them into place and stood up, slipping my feet into my black shoes and looking in the mirror. I just had to go put the wig on to see something of the full effect, but as I headed back towards the bedroom I heard the doorbell. I slipped the black negligee round my shoulders and went down, peering to make sure first that it was indeed Karen. She looked in some amazement at the scantily clad woman who let her in. Christine, I don't really know why I'm here, you seem to be doing an excellent job yourself. Thanks, Karen. But it's the makeup and the accessories really, I do know they are so important for my appearance. This is my first real date and I want to do Jason proud. I could hardly believe I had just said that, wanting to look my best for a man. Things had certainly changed in the past 4 days, I really did understand some of what it must be like to be a woman, to have to cope with all the many aspects of home life, and to want to impress, all the time really, in some way to want to be seen as a sexual object yet to stay in control. Karen followed me up the stairs. Nice ass, she said. She was very impressed when I showed her the dress. That is a phenomenal garment, Christine, it must have cost you a fortune. Oh look. It's a Georges Demant, not an original, surely you couldn't afford that, Christine. And you've not turned totally female, surely? I explained briefly some of the details of how I had got it. Karen listened in amazement and was envious I had met Melly, then commented that she would have to try the shop one day if she could get there the moment after Melly did. She helped me into the dress and to adjust the bust line to show lots of, but not too much, cleavage. I can see Jason is going to cream his pants tonight, she said. I was shocked, not at her rude comment but at my reaction. We both giggled together at the thought of it. Then she insisted on my taking off my wig while she took total control of my makeup, again making me face away from the mirror until the end. Finally I slipped on my dress stilettos, stood and turned. I was amazed. All week I had been thinking of myself, as a woman, as quite attractive, no more. I was delighted at the reactions from Steve and from Jason and Keith, and the man in the corner shop. But this was different, not glamorous, not beautiful, but definitely very attractive and, dare I say it, desirable. The dress helped a lot. It was a deep blue, almost midnight blue, with gold stripes, very thin, woven into the fabric and glistening in the light of my makeup lamp. Very close-fitting, it showed off my figure to the very best advantage, tight bum, slimish waist and really quite bulging breasts. The balcony bra was just right, offering support and tension to keep my breasts proud and pushing them together. And Karen's efforts had enhanced the effect. My makeup was quite glam, deepish blue eyeliner, nice eyeshadow, thick mascara on my lashes, and deep red lips, with a slight blue tint to the lip liner she had used. My fingernails matched the lipstick, but the whole effect was totally enhanced by the jewelry. Karen had brought a selection from her shop, anticipating I might want something special. And special it was. A gold pendant hung round my neck, with a dark blue stone, probably just colored glass, but it looked good, and glistened like the threads in my dress. The earrings were very special, matching stones on the lobes, and thin gold strands, maybe 5-inch long, hanging straight down which swung when I moved. I loved them. 3 gold effect rings, 2 plain and 1 with yet another blue stone completed the effect. However I really did feel gorgeous. Karen was pleased too. You know, Christine, when I started doing this for Dr. Morgan I thought he was mad, or at least a bit dipsy. But it really is fun. The last girl I did looked very convincing, but I have to say, my dear, you do take the biscuit, in fact the whole box of biscuits, you don't just look good enough to pass, you look gorgeous enough to get yourself into trouble. Now promise me, you will take care. Your young man doesn't know your secret, please promise me you will pull back if there looks to be a problem there. I don't want to spoil the good that's been done this week. Please? I promise to take care. At least, I thought, I will try. It was 5 to 8, nearly time. Karen grabbed her stuff, shoved it into the bag she had brought, and we went downstairs. I had a silk effect blue and white shawl, she helped me drape it effectively to cover myself up, it was turning just a little cold. I had my bag. I had me. I was ready. After Karen left I stood for a minute or two, composing myself. I thought about a drink, Dutch courage, but didn't. I heard the doorbell again. Jason was waiting for me. And looking good. Handsome, yes indeed, very handsome. Smart suit, no tie, open neck shirt. I smiled and we walked down the path towards the taxi as it pulled up. I noticed Karen drive past, she must have been waiting in her car along the street a little, wanting to see how I got on. She waved as she passed, I waved back. Jason saw it and turned towards me. That's all for now. See you in the next video. Please subscribe our channel and join me at Patreon for exclusive content.